Majority rule day and no power. Remember yesterday I showed you the sugar apple? Well, this is the inside of the sugar apple, and what you do is you eat these, and inside each of those is a little seed. It's really good, but it's not like eating an apple where you eat the whole thing. It's got all those little pods, and those pods are really sweet and tasty. Sid hasn't had any yet, so I don't know if she agrees.
It's not a consistency I agree with.
Oh, she doesn't like the consistency. Okay, I guess that's all mine then. Today's majority rule day, and we're not working, of course, because it's a holiday here, and the weather is terrible, so we wouldn't be working anyway. So I guess that's a good thing. You know, that's the boys wanted to work, but they couldn't work anyway. So this way, we don't have to worry about it. Computer. Remember I told you it was a big issue? Yeah, it's a big issue. A friend of mine who I've met here, who lives in the States, through this channel and all the other stuff that I do, was nice enough. He contacted the Apple people and found out that what that is the screen, something in the screen, there was too much pressure or whatever on top of it. When that happened, I have no idea. But I get this screen on those things is so thin, you know, to cut weight. And that got somehow squished or something happened. And that's why those lines are showing up in the computer screen. So far it's only on what I see. It's not being affected into what comes out of the computer, like these videos and stuff like that. But at some point those lines, they told him, will get worse and worse. And so it's got to be repaired. It's not what do you call it? Where they're going to have an update and it's going to correct itself. It's a hardware, right, and it's just going to get worse. So here I am in Eleuthera. There is no Apple store, so I can't just bring it to the Apple store on the island and then have them fix it and give it back to me. So now I've got a debate of what to do, because at some point when I go back to the States, yes, I can take that computer, I'll bring it back to Apple, make an appointment, bring it back to them, and then have them fix it all up. Great, I've got another computer. But in the meantime, I don't have a computer that's capable of processing as much as I need to. I've got an old computer, but the SD card reader doesn't work. The USB I can work, and luckily I had an old card reader with a USB, so I can get videos into it that way. So I'm trying different workarounds, but it looks like now I'm going to have to start thinking about getting another computer. And that wasn't something that was in the budget or thinking or...
You just paid off that one.
Yeah, right. It's like that one just got paid off and now it's got a problem. So this one I'm not going to put a loan or anything on. I'm just going to buy it. So I have to decide when, and of course I don't get the in-store ones because I have so much to do. So I think this time, since I already have or will have a repaired laptop, I'll probably get something like an iMac. Now if I had my unlimited fundage, yeah, then I'd get the new iMac Pro with 128 gigabits of RAM.
I think you need a GoFundMe, Todd.
Yeah, maybe a GoFundMe type thing, because that one starts at 10,000. So we're not doing that one. Unless you want to, and then you let me know, and I will definitely be more than happy to take you up on it. Tell you how it works and everything else, and I can keep doing the pretty pictures. They'll process even faster. It'll be absolutely wonderful. I'll thank you and be eternally grateful. So just look on the site, iMac Pro, and if you're interested, then you can just write to me and I'll tell you all the specifications of things that I'd like to have put into that, since we're already, you know, starting there. But anyway, that's what we're up against. And it's one of those things, when did it get pressed? I don't know. Was it accidentally pressed on our trip back here, under the seat, in its case. I mean, what I know I'm going to do in the future is I'm going to look for some type of a hard shell for it, so when we travel, it can't get whacked like that or whatever happened. But I imagine it probably doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, those screens are so thin. But what's done is done. Now we just have to figure out a route around that of how we're going to fix it. And the only way I can see is order one up, have it shipped into a place in Florida, then brought over to here. And from what I looked, that won't even be till the end of the month, because of the one I need to get has different, like I said, it's not stock. So that's been part of our rainy day fun today, of trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And that was interesting. I guess the Canon decided that I'd said enough. So we're going to leave it at that. Well, as you can see from the pictures and what I've said before, it's not a great day. It's a holiday. It's no problem for us. We're here. It's a day off. I've got things to do, all kinds of things to figure. But what about if you're a tourist? If you're here and, the plan was to come, go to the beach, enjoy some warm weather and everything else, that's not working out.
Not this week.
No, not this week. Doesn't look like next week either. So it's one of those things, that when people, and I know this happens in Florida too, when people are in colder climates and they say, I got to get out of here, and it's, January, February, and they think they're going to get to a place like Florida or the Bahamas, it's going to automatically be warm, everything's going to be wonderful. That's not the case. A lot of times in January and February, it can be cloudy, windy, cooler, and it's not always beach weather. That's the thing. It's going to be better than where you came from, probably. There's not like 2 feet of snow or any of that kind of stuff. But it's not going to necessarily be 80, 85 and absolutely beautiful so that you can go to the beach, go swimming every day, do all that kind of stuff. That doesn't usually start getting more consistent around here until March. By March, the weather gets a little bit more settled. April's wonderful. May can go either way with some rain and stuff like that. But January, February, it's going to be nicer than where you came from, but it's not going to be tropical if that's what your thinking is.